Did you know that over 90% of our audience watches our videos but hasn't subscribed yet? If you enjoy these stories and want to see more, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It only takes a second and it helps us create more amazing content for you. Eva gazed out the window of her new home, watching the golden leaves swirl in the crisp autumn air. It had been a month since she married Stephen, and while she was thrilled about their future together, a quiet unease lingered in her heart. Stephen had a 10-year-old daughter, Paige, from his previous marriage, and Eva was determined to build a strong bond with her. As she unpacked boxes, her thoughts drifted to Paige. She had a bright, curious personality, but Eva understood that becoming a stepmother wouldn't be easy, especially with Paige's biological mother, Bethany, still deeply involved in her life. "Eva, can you give me a hand with this?" Stephen's voice pulled her from her thoughts. She smiled, pushing her worries aside. "Coming," she replied, heading into the living room. As they worked together, she felt a comforting sense of belonging. Stephen was kind and always made her feel at home. That evening, Stephen mentioned that Paige would be coming over for dinner. Eva felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. It would be her first real chance to connect with her. When the door opened, Paige rushed in, her eyes lighting up at the sight of her father. "Dad," she exclaimed, hugging him tightly. Eva watched the touching moment, her heart warming. "This is Eva," Stephen said, turning to introduce them. "She's really excited to meet you." Paige looked at Eva with cautious curiosity. "Hi," she said shyly. Eva knelt to her level. "Hi, Paige, I made your favorite mac and cheese." Paige's face brightened. "Really? I love mac and cheese." As they sat down for dinner, Eva asked, "So what do you like to do for fun?" "I like drawing and playing basketball," Paige said, still a little reserved, but opening up. "Maybe we can draw together sometime," Eva suggested. Paige gave a small nod, a flicker of interest in her eyes. Despite the positive start, Eva could feel an unspoken tension. Bethany was a significant part of Paige's life, and Eva knew that finding her place in the family would take time. The following week, Eva overheard Stephen on the phone with Bethany discussing Paige's upcoming basketball game. The casual ease of their conversation unsettled her. It reminded her that they had once been a family, and for a moment, she felt like an outsider. That night, Stephen noticed her quietness. "Are you okay?" he asked gently. Eva forced a smile, just a little tired, but the uncertainty lingered. She wanted to be a good stepmother, but she also needed to establish her own place in Paige's life. The day of Paige's basketball game arrived, and Eva was both excited and anxious. When they got to the court, she spotted Bethany among the other parents, confident, composed, and entirely at ease. Stephen squeezed her hand. "Just be yourself. Paige will see how much you care." During the game, Eva cheered for Paige enthusiastically. When Paige scored a point, she turned and smiled at Eva, a small but meaningful moment. After the game, Eva approached her. "You played amazing. I'm so proud of you." Paige grinned. "Thanks, Eva." Just then, Bethany walked over. "Great game, sweetheart," she said, hugging Paige. Eva stood nearby, unsure how to interact. She forced a friendly smile. "Hi, Bethany." "Hi, Eva." Bethany responded politely but distantly. As they exchanged pleasantries, Eva felt the weight of their complicated dynamic. She wanted to build a good relationship with Bethany, but it wasn't going to be simple. That evening, Eva confided in Stephen. "I feel like I'm always in Bethany's shadow," she admitted. Stephen took her hand. "I know it's hard, but Paige will find her own space for you in her heart. Just give it time." Encouraged, Eva decided to reach out to Bethany. She sent a message. "Hi, Bethany. I hope you're doing well. I'd love to chat sometime and see how we can work together for Paige's sake." To her surprise, Bethany agreed to meet for coffee. When they met, Eva felt nervous but determined. "I really want to make sure we're on the same page when it comes to Paige," she said. "I agree," Bethany replied. "She's our priority." Eva was relieved to hear Bethany's openness. Over the next few weeks, they communicated more frequently, coordinating schedules and working together to support Paige. One afternoon, Stephen and Eva hosted a barbecue and invited Bethany and Paige. When Bethany arrived, she had brought dessert. "That looks delicious." "Thank you," Eva said sincerely. As the barbecue progressed, Eva watched as Stephen, Bethany, and Paige laughed together. She realized that they weren't competitors. They were all part of Paige's life in different ways. Later, while cleaning up, Eva and Bethany found themselves side by side. "I appreciate how well this is going," Eva said. "Me too," Bethany admitted. "I know it's not always easy, but I'm glad we're making an effort." Over time, Eva and Paige found their own rhythm. One rainy afternoon, Eva set up an art station in the garage. "Want to paint with me?" she asked Paige. "Sure." Paige's eyes lit up. As they painted together, Eva admired Paige's creativity. "You're really talented. Have you ever thought about art classes?" Paige shrugged. "I just doodle sometimes." "Well, if you ever want to learn more, I'd love to help." As time passed, their bond grew stronger. They shared laughter, inside jokes, and little traditions that were just theirs. One evening, Eva and Paige curled up on the couch, watching a movie when Stephen walked in. "Looks like I'm interrupting something cozy," he joked. "Not at all. Join us," Eva said, patting the couch. As they watched the movie together, Eva felt a deep sense of belonging. She was no longer just Stephen's wife. She was part of Paige's life in a meaningful way. However, challenges still arose. One day, Bethany asked to meet. "I just want to make sure Paige knows I'm still her mom," Bethany said. Eva nodded. "I completely understand. My goal is to support her, not replace you." Bethany hesitated before nodding. "I appreciate that. I just want to make sure we're on the same page." "We are," Eva reassured her. "Let's focus on what's best for her." When Paige's birthday arrived, Eva and Bethany worked together to plan a celebration. Seeing Paige's face light up at the party reassured Eva that they were creating something special, a blended family built on love and cooperation. Months passed, and Eva continued to strengthen her relationship with Paige. Whether it was helping with school projects, cheering at basketball games, or painting together on rainy afternoons, every moment deepened their connection. One sunny day, as Eva and Stephen watched Paige play in the park, Stephen turned to her. "You two have really bonded." Eva smiled. "We have, and it feels amazing." As they cheered for Paige, Eva felt pure gratitude. The journey hadn't been easy, but it was worth it. She had found her place, not just as Stephen's wife, but as a vital part of their family. No matter the challenges ahead, she was ready. With love, patience, and communication, they would navigate this journey together. As the seasons changed and winter set in, Eva continued to grow into her role as Paige's stepmother. Their bond had strengthened, but Eva knew that blending a family wasn't something that happened overnight. It was a continuous process, filled with highs and lows. One evening, after dinner, Paige seemed unusually quiet. Eva noticed her picking at her food rather than eating. "Everything okay, Paige?" Eva asked gently. Paige hesitated before looking up. "Mom said she's thinking of moving to another city for a new job." Eva exchanged a glance with Stephen, who looked just as surprised. "Did she say when?" Stephen asked. "She's not sure yet. She said she'd talk to you about it." Paige replied, her voice uncertain. Eva's heart sank. She had worked hard to build stability for Paige, and now everything could change. Later that night, Stephen called Bethany to discuss it. Eva sat beside him, listening carefully to his side of the conversation. "I understand you have career opportunities, but what about Paige? This is her home, her school, her friends?" Stephen said. Eva could hear Bethany's muffled response, but her tone sounded firm. After the call, Stephen sighed and turned to Eva. "She hasn't made a final decision, but if she moves, she wants Paige to come with her." Eva's stomach clenched. The idea of Paige leaving was painful. "What do we do?" she asked. Stephen shook his head. "I don't know yet, but we need to figure it out together." Over the next few weeks, discussions about Paige's future became tense. Bethany was adamant that moving would provide better opportunities, but Stephen strongly disagreed. One evening, Paige sat in the living room hugging a pillow. "I don't want to move," she admitted softly. Eva sat beside her. "Have you told your mom that?" Paige nodded. She says it's for the best, but I don't want to leave you and Dad, and my friends, and my basketball team. Eva hugged her. No matter what happens, you always have a home here. We'll figure this out together. As the custody discussions continued, Eva struggled with her emotions. She had worked so hard to build a bond with Paige, and the thought of losing her, even part-time, was heartbreaking. Bethany eventually proposed a compromise. Paige could stay in town with Stephen during the school year and visit her during longer holidays. It wasn't ideal, but it was a solution that kept Paige's stability intact. On the night they finalized the arrangement, Paige hugged Eva tightly. "I'm really glad I get to stay," she whispered. Eva felt her eyes sting with emotion. "Me too, sweetheart. Me too." After the custody decision was settled, life gradually returned to normal. But Paige's emotions about the situation still lingered. One weekend, Eva found Paige sitting in her room, staring at a half-finished drawing. "Not feeling inspired today?" Eva asked, sitting beside her. Paige sighed. "I just keep thinking about Mom moving. I know I'll still see her, but it feels weird." Eva nodded. "It's okay to feel that way. Change is hard, even when we know it's for the best." Paige hesitated. "Do you think she'll be okay without me there all the time?" Eva smiled warmly. "She loves you, just like we do, and no matter where she is, she'll always be your mom. You don't have to choose between us." Paige seemed to consider this before leaning against Eva's shoulder. "Thanks, Eva." Eva squeezed her hand. "Always." Months later, when spring arrived, Bethany surprised them by calling and asking to visit for a weekend. "I think Paige has been adjusting well, but I'd like to come see her. Spend time here," Bethany said. Eva wasn't sure how to feel about it. She and Bethany had developed a level of mutual respect, but it was still new territory. When Bethany arrived, she seemed more relaxed than usual. At dinner, she even laughed at one of Stephen's jokes, a rare moment of lightheartedness between ex-spouses. Later, as Eva was cleaning up in the kitchen, Bethany joined her. "You've really made a difference in Paige's life," Bethany admitted, setting a plate on the counter. Eva was surprised. "Thank you. That means a lot. I won't lie, when Stephen first married you, I worried about how it would change things. But Paige loves you. I see that now." Eva smiled, her heart swelling with relief. "I love her too." For the first time, it felt like they weren't just coexisting, they were working together. As time went on, Eva, Stephen, and Bethany found a rhythm that worked. Paige thrived, knowing she was surrounded by love on all sides. One summer evening, as they all sat together at a family barbecue, Bethany included, Eva looked around at the people she had once worried would never fully accept her. Now she knew the truth. They weren't just a blended family, they were a family, period, and that was all that mattered. Years passed, and the once uncertain journey of blending their family had become something beautiful. Paige thrived, excelling in school and sports, and her bond with Eva deepened. The relationship between Eva and Bethany had evolved from cautious co-parenting to genuine teamwork, proving that love and commitment could bridge even the most complicated relationships. One evening, as the family sat together watching Paige's latest basketball game, Eva looked around at the people who had once been strangers but were now inseparable parts of her life. Stephen squeezed her hand, and Paige ran over after the game, beaming with excitement. "We did it," Paige cheered, wrapping her arms around both of them. Eva smiled, her heart full. Yes, we did. Their journey wasn't without challenges, but they had built something strong, something lasting. A family, not defined by titles, but by love, respect, and the willingness to grow together. Family comes in many forms, and blending one takes patience, effort, and a whole lot of love. If you're navigating a similar journey, remember, communication, empathy, and teamwork can make all the difference. Have you experienced the challenges of a blended family? Share your story, and let's inspire others to embrace love in all its forms.